Jonathan Lee Riches, aka JLR. Where is 19-year-old Dylan Rounds? Everyone, I was able to obtain court records of James Brenner. James Adrian Brenner. I'm going to share with you these court records that I was able to obtain. It provides more insight about James Brenner, a little bit of history about James Brenner. I think it's very important. I think it's relevant to this case, considering that James Brenner is now in federal custody charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. James Brenner was also indicted in the state of North Dakota way back in 2011 for the same crime. For the same crime, he served 33 months in prison, federal prison. I am going to share with you right now his court documents from that 2011 case in North Dakota, United States District Court. Check it out, and then we will discuss. This is the federal indictment for James Adrian Brenner in 2011 in the United States District Court for the District of North Dakota, United States, against James Adrian Brenner in violation of 18 U.S.C. 922 G1, 18 U.S.C. 924A2, 18 U.S.C. 924D, and 28 U.S.C. 2461C. I'm going to read the indictment. Count 1, possession of firearms by a convicted felon. The grand jury charges in or before June 2011 in the District of North Dakota, James Adrian Brenner, having been convicted of the following crimes punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year. 1, malicious shooting in the Circuit Court for Prince George's County, Maryland, on or about October 2nd, 1986, and possession of firearm by a felon in state court, Aroostook County, Maine, on or about August 3rd, 1990, did knowingly possess in and affecting commerce firearms, that is, and then it lists the firearms: Ruger model M77 Hawkeye 270 caliber rifle, Ruger model GP 100 357 Magnum revolver, Ruger model P95 9mm caliber pistol, Winchester model 1300 12 gauge shotgun, Winchester model 94 30-30 caliber level action rifle, Marlin model 444 44 caliber level action rifle, Ruger model 1022 22 caliber rifle, Ruger model Blackhawk 41 Magnum caliber revolver, Ruger model Blackhawk 357 Magnum caliber revolver, Mossberg model Plinkster 22 caliber rifle, Ruger model single 6 22 caliber revolver, in violation of Title 18 922 G1 and 924A2. Count 2, possession of firearms and ammunition by a convicted felon. The grand jury fairly charges from and or about September 2011 and continuing on or about the date of this indictment in the United States District Court, District of North Dakota, and elsewhere, James Brenner, having been convicted of following crimes punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year: malicious shooting in the Circuit Court for Prince George County, Maryland, on or about 1986, and possession of firearms by a convicted felon in state court, Aroostook County, Maine, on or about 1990, did knowingly possess and affecting commerce firearms: Remington model 87 Express Magnum 12 gauge shotgun, Westonfield Mossberg model M550ABD 12 gauge shotgun, Henry repeating arms 22 caliber long rifle, Savage model Stevens 11A 12 gauge double barrel shotgun, 4 rounds of Remington 12 gauge ammunition, 11 rounds of Remington 22 caliber ammunition, and numerous rounds of various caliber ammunition in violation of 18 U.S.C. 922 G1, 924 A2. Forfeiture allegations. The grand jury finds probable cause that upon conviction of one or more of these offenses, the defendant, James Adrian Brenner, shall forfeit to the United States pursuant to Title 18 U.S. Code 924D, Title 28 United States Code Section 2461C, all firearms and ammunition involved in the commission of the offense, including but not limited to. And it lists the weapons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 firearms. And then right here, this is signed by the grand jury foreman and Timothy Q. Purdon, United States Attorney. This is in the District of North Dakota. This is James Adrian Brenner's indictment from 2011. And this is a copy of the judgment, United States District Court, United States of America versus James Adrian Brenner. He pleaded guilty to count 1 of the indictment, 18 U.S.C. 922 G1, 924 A2, possession of firearm by convicted felon, and he agreed to forfeiture of his weapons, those 15 weapons and ammunition. Count 2 of the indictment was dismissed. You see here, signed by the judge, and he got served 33 months with credit time served. The court makes the following recommendation for the BOP, Borough Prisons. The court recommends that the defendant be placed in FPC Yankton, Federal Prison Camp Yankton, South Dakota. And then it just lists conditions of supervised release. You can find this online. Anyone has standard conditions. It lists a bunch of them. I won't read them off. Special conditions. Let's read his special conditions. These are special conditions always added on to defendants' cases, case-by-case basis, based off the nature and characteristics of the individual or the needs that need to be met of an individual. So his special conditions, he has 5 of them. The defendant shall totally abstain from the excessive use of alcohol and use of illegal drugs or the possession of controlled substances. The defendant shall submit to drug and alcohol screening at the direction of the United States Probation Office to verify compliance. Failure to refuse to submit to testing can result in mandatory revocation. Tampering with the collection process of specimen may be considered the same as a positive test. The defendant shall submit in person, resident, workplace, vehicle, computer, and all possessions to search conducted by United States Probation Officer based upon evidence of a violation of condition of supervision. Failure to submit to search may be grounds for revocation, additional crimes, and arrest. The defendant shall notify any other residents that the premises may be subject to searches. The defendant shall participate in a program of treatment for drug and alcohol abuse approved by the United States Probation Officer until such time as he is released from the program by the U.S. Probation Officer. The defendant shall participate in mental health program or any other mental health related program to address his mental health issues, which may include the taking of prescribed medications as directed by this supervising probation officer, as directed by the court. If during the period of supervision release, the supervised probation officer determines that the defendant is in need of placement in RRC, the defendant shall voluntarily report to such facility as directed by supervising probation officer, cooperate with all rules and regulations of the facility, and participate in all recommended program, and not withdraw from the facility without prior permission of the supervising probation officer. And criminal fines and penalties, he was assessed a $100 fine. $100 fine. And then here's the forfeiture of weapons here that you see. So you read the indictment. You saw he pled guilty. He had a forfeiture, multiple amounts of weapons. It listed the kind of weapons he possessed at the time. This guy, James Brenner, seems like a violent individual. He has a prior criminal history in Maryland, Prince George's County, Maryland. That's where he got his felony charges, malicious injury, 1986. You see that he also had a gun charge in 1990 in Maine, indicted here with this case now. That case I just shared with you in North Dakota. He has a pattern with guns and violent behavior. That first case was in 86, another one in 90, the one in North Dakota in 2011, and now a recent case. Now, that's every decade. Every decade, James Brenner is getting in trouble for violent type of crimes, felon in possession of firearms. So, did he do something with Dylan rounds? What does he know? Does he not know? Is the feds just, eyeing in on him because of his history? Is it connected in any way? Remains to be seen. Looking into this case, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. Digging in on James Adrian Brenner, 58 years old, trying to get a photograph of him or a mugshot. I have filed open records requests with numerous agencies that he had runs in with around the country, and I am working on that, trying to get a mugshot. Hopefully someone else posts his mugshot. I want to see what he looks like. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to see who is James Adrian Brenner. Is he involved with other crimes in the area? Why was he in that area of Lucin, Utah? He did buy property in Elko County, Nevada, right across the border from Utah in 2016. He bought 10 acres of land. I did a map of his property, and it seems like there is a small trailer on his property. Have authorities searched that area? Are authorities aware of that property? I let Justin Rounds know. He wasn't aware at the time when I let him know a few days ago. Now he knows. Maybe he passed that along to the FBI. That's what he said he was going to do. Has the FBI thoroughly checked that area? That area has multiple amounts of other properties belonging to other individuals. I don't know if anyone can just go onto their properties to search. It's a big area. Where's Dylan Rounds? Where is Dylan Rounds? If you have any information about the whereabouts of Dylan Rounds, contact the Box Elder County Sheriff's Department or the FBI. Praying for Dylan Rounds' family, praying for Justin Rounds, Candace Cooley, the Cooley family, the Rounds family, praying for them all that they can get answers and justice and closure. And answers. Maybe Dylan is alive and they can bring Dylan home. That's what we're all hoping. Everyone be safe. God bless. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. We're on this case. God bless.